Okay, what's up, guys? I just got done watching the Microsoft E3 conference, and I have to say, I'm actually pretty surprised. Yeah, this is the video where I eat all my words. No, I won't say that. I'm not taking back like anything I said in the last video, but as far as E3 show went, like you couldn't ask for much more than what Microsoft just did. It was basically everything that we always want out of an E3 press conference, which is no bullshit and a whole fuck ton of games. There was no Connect shit, no dancing shit, no bullshit. It was an hour of fucking games back to back to back. Um, there's a lot to go over here, but let me pull up my notes. I mean, I could. One thing I could say about this show too is it is probably the fastest paced E3 show I've ever seen. Like I was having trouble keeping up with everything that was going on. So yeah, there was a lot. Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't like that series at all. I don't care, but I'm sure there were some people that were excited by it. It looked like Red Dead Redemption and shit. Like he's out on a horse in a fucking desert and all these other like new characters. It was a bad trailer, but I'm sure there's people that were excited for it. Um, Interesting 360 news. Xbox Live is kind of going the way of PlayStation Plus. For instance, we're getting Halo 3 for free. Um, there's that World of Tanks game coming out, which I know is on the PC and I've heard was pretty cool. But I don't play on PC, so I didn't know much about it. But it looked awesome to me. It kind of reminded me of Battle Tanks back in the day. Fucking shout out to fucking Battle Tanks on N64. If you ever played that game, you know it's awesome. Then they showed Dark Souls 2, which while I was watching it, I was like, is this Dark Souls 2? It doesn't, like, it looks like Dark Souls, but, like, the combat looked a little off. It just looked a little off. Like, the graphics didn't look quite as good as Dark Souls, like, but that's cool. I mean, of course I'm going to get that. Rise, which was like a Roman gladiator, whatever fucking, like, third-person action game. You play some Roman general named, I think it was Marius Titus. It looked really good. Like, it was really good graphics. It looked like a solid, almost like God of War type game, but like really impressive looking. Then came the saddest news of the show, which was Killer Instinct. That sucks. I said before in my previous video, the only thing that would get me to buy Xbox One is Conquer 2, which I didn't think would happen. I actually predicted it would be like a banjo dancing game, which did not happen. I'm surprised by that. But they were kind of sly with the whole, there's going to be a classic, Rare game, blah, 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 because everyone kind of assumed, myself included, that meant Rare was making it. They're not. I forgot what developer is making it, but there's Killer Instinct. I mean, I know there's people that are probably really happy about that, but I don't like fighting games at all. So could be more disappointed that the classic Rare franchise was Killer Instinct and it's not made by Rare. That was a bummer. Then you had Sunset Overdrive from Insomniac, which looked kind of like a Ratchet game, but really, really, stylish graphics. It looked fun. I wasn't like, oh my god. There's Forza Motorsport 5. I like arcade racing games, so that wasn't selling me on anything. What else? Oh, there's Minecraft coming out for Xbox One. Don't care. Quantum Break. It's hard for me to get excited about that game because they haven't shown any of the game at all. And once again today, it was just a cutscene. And you're just like, I'm going on faith that like I really liked Alan Wake, so hopefully Quantum Break will be cool. But then you had D4, which was like a murder mystery game, nice stylized like comic book graphics almost. That's from the people that made Deadly Premonition. Weird. I thought it looked pretty cool though. I mean, they didn't show much, but I like the art style. Then you had Project Spark, which was just like, I don't know what the fuck this game is. It's like using Smart Glass, you know, that app where you're like doing shit on a tablet while you're playing the game. They're like building different landscapes and shit with it. It did look kind of interesting near the end though, when like they were like one guy was like controlling a character and another guy's like building the landscape underneath him with the Smart Glass shit. I don't know. It was almost like a Little Big Planet type game where you could just create everything in the game. But again, didn't really do anything to me. Then they showed some game called Crimson Dragon, which looked like Panzer Dragoon or something. It looked badass. I never played Panzer Dragoon, but like I'm all down for a game like that. Then you had the fucking one, man. The game that fuck, I want it. Like if there's one game that's gonna sell me on this fucking system, it's gonna be it, and that is Dead Rising 3. I know not everyone was like a huge fan of this series, but I fucking love Dead Rising. It was the game that got me to buy the 360 when the first one came out. And this just looked fucking crazy good. It looked like a next gen Dead Rising. Like it's exactly what I would have wanted. Really cool shit. Like, especially the part when you like shot up a flare and all the zombies like went chasing the flare like way off in the distance. That was so cool. But it just looked like a fucking badass Dead Rising game. And the whole time I'm like, please don't be exclusive. Please don't be exclusive. Please don't be exclusive. And it's fucking exclusive. No. So that's a tough pill to swallow there. Then there was Battlefield 4, which was funny because they had problems starting up their presentation of it, and that poor bastard was just stuck on stage like trying to fill time. Then they got started, and it looked like, dude, graphically, it was probably the most impressive game of the show. It looked great, but like, I don't really care too much for military shooters anymore, and I'm certainly not a Battlefield fan. So, which, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure people will be happy about it. There was a game called Below, which was like this interesting top-down like roguelike game with pretty interesting art and graphics, although like everything looked really tiny, like the character looked really tiny on the screen, but it didn't look like it should be a $60 game either, but it looked fucking cool. Oh, another game that I totally skipped over was called Max, which is like a 2D platformer that was beautiful. That looked, like at first, at the beginning of the Max trailer, they're like showing a cutscene and it was like these, it looked like a really kiddie like, you know, game like. But then once it got going, I mean, I guess 2D platformers are kind of for kids too, but obviously, but it looked fucking beautiful, so I'm sold on that one. And then they had a couple games where, like, dude, it was going so fast I couldn't keep up. There was like a couple that they showed near the end. I didn't even catch the name of the game. I don't even know if they showed the name of the game. Then they had this trailer for a game that looked like fucking like Journey or something. Like it's like out in the desert. There's like sand and fucking. Next thing you know, this like person walked through the desert. They take off their hood and it's fucking like the Halo helmet, like the Master Chief helmet. So it didn't really show much, but it's Halo, dude. Like if there is one thing that I would miss going like PS4 only or PS4 first next gen is Halo. I love Halo. It's one of the few shooters, or like at least multiplayer shooters, that I still really love. Then you had the price point and not a release date, but the obvious release month of November. No surprise there. $4.99. Not a big surprise. I know there's people saying that it's too high. Like I saw a bunch of people kind of jumping on it right away for being too high. I don't know about that. I mean, the Wii U launched at $350, and the Wii U is, you know, no doubt about it, it's kind of a current gen system, and you're getting a next gen system for $5. People spend all sorts of fucking crazy money on iPads and shit. I do not, but fuck, I mean, you know, if you fucking buy a new iPad every fucking 6 months or whatever, and those things are more expensive, what's the big deal about buying a console that's going to last you minimum 5 years? So, I mean, price point, release date. To me, it was like right exactly. It was exact. Like if you put a gun to my head before the show and said, when does it come out? What is the price? I would have said November, $4.99. And then you had finally, after years, the shooter from Respawn Entertainment, the guys who made Call of Duty 4. Well, the guys who left Infinity Ward, the guys who made Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, who had a little breakup with Activision, went and formed their own studio called Respawn, and they've been working on it ever since this Titanfall. And wow, Titanfall looked like a fucking blast. It looked like a fun mix of like a typical military shooter, and then something more fun and sci-fi like Halo. There's fucking jetpacks, there's fucking mechs everywhere. That graphically it wasn't like up to snuff with like Battlefield 4. It looked like a Call of Duty kind of a little bit better, but just in terms of how fun it would be to play, it's like it kind of makes me understand why I stopped liking Call of Duty. It's like, well, the people who made the good ones are no longer haven't been making them for like 5 years or whatever. Because this looked like a blast. It looked really creative and just kind of fresh for the genre a little bit. Jetpacks are nothing new. Halo has jetpacks, but whatever. The way they kind of combined it all together was like a nice mix between Call of Duty and Halo or something like that, and I would be down for that. For me, there was nothing. There was no system seller. I know a lot of people were like watching my reaction on Skype and Twitter, where they're like, "You're buying it, Jeff. I know you're buying it now." There's a chance I will. I don't plan to get either system this year, but I will say it. While I don't think there was a system seller in that show, like I said at the top, you couldn't have asked for a better E3 show. It was an hour jam-packed with tons of games, which is what we always ask for. There was no PR bullshit, no Connect bullshit, no connected living room entertainment center bullshit. They just were like, dude, you guys like video games? Check out this. We got some video games, So that was really good, and there was a lot to like. I'm not saying I'm convinced I will buy an Xbox One yet. Like I said, I'm waiting on buying either of the systems till next year, because it just seems like the smart thing to do. Because for me, it is a big investment. Even though I'll probably own both of them at some point, it's just bound to happen. But that said, while there was no like, oh my god, I need to buy this system, there were several games I really want to play. Mainly Halo 5, of course. Titanfall looked like a blast. And Dead Rising. That's the one that could send me over the edge, guys. I really want that. But anyways, that's my reaction. A very, very surprised, fucking happy gamer here today. With there was a lot to like at that show, so we'll see how the others do as the day goes on. I'll definitely do a Sony reaction. I don't think I'll do it for Ubisoft or EA, but maybe I'll talk a little bit about them. Whatchamacallit, during my Sony reaction, and then of course I can't wait to see what Nintendo has up their sleeves tomorrow. But we'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Check back later for Sony reactions, and yeah. Happy gamer. I'm gonna go play some fucking Animal Crossing New Leaf. Yeah.